Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. Today we are quickly testing out the, it's the Mac Plus core on the MiSTer. And we've got it hooked in to my regular modem, the Netcom Roadster 2 Ultra 56, which connects into a Banksia via an asterisk server. And is routed around by an SPA112 VoIP thing. So I've never actually connected via the internet, well, via dial-up internet on a Mac. So this was actually my first time giving that a go. And I just wanted to give you a very quick rundown of what happens. So, as you can see, I'm using config PPP. And I'm also using something else. Mac TCP. So Mac TCP, you set so this IP address down here is the machine that we're on now, the local machine. So this is version 2.1, which can be important. I also had this dial with 2.06, so you don't necessarily need to update it, but it does make this particular page a lot less complicated. So as you can see, we're using domain is google.com, but then the IP address is Cloudflare's DNS server, so I don't know, it's fine. Manually, you obtain it. Subnet mask, pretty standard. The router address is the target address, which is the bridge for me on my asterisk server. So that might vary depending on what guide you follow. But ultimately, the local machine that you're on currently will need to be 0.2 or somewhere within that range. So not too much exciting in there. Triple P is selected. So it's pretty boring actually. That's actually the most boring app we have. Just to give you an idea of what we're running here, we're in System Software 755 with just enough RAM. And on the MiSTer side, we've got I've gone with SE instead of Plus, 16 megahertz instead of 8, and CPU's 2.0 instead of just a plain boring old 68K. And memory's 4 because the only other option is 1, which wouldn't be very enjoyable. We connect via modem mode, USB serial. The baud rate is 115K. So all that's very well and good. We don't need that anymore. And if we have a look in here, we can find things like modem port or printer port. Modem port actually works. I've called the thing this, you can call it whatever you want. Port speed, 115K. Flow control is none. I have a feeling that this is not so much the modem to modem talk, this is the computer to the modem, because no matter what I seem to have in here, it connects at a higher speed. Because I had this port speed set to 9600 BPS, and it was definitely, those tones coming out of those modems back there, you see them? Yeah, that was definitely going much, much faster. So let's keep going. So flow control, none. If you wanted to, you could set it to something and see if it does things different, but for me, none just worked. Tone dial, phone number, just so it sounds cool, and my modem initialization strings. Yeah, I can't remember what they are anymore, but that's what I pulled from some old test bed. They're probably not complete, but they do seem to work. Modem connection timeout, that's fine. The connect script. So this is dialing into the Linux box, which is Ubuntu's server, I believe. So it always sort of bugged me the way, so my password and username is just simply dial for the dial account. does it not have the L? And then it occurred to me that it could be a capital L or a lowercase L. But login is always going to be the same. Same with password, or in this case, arsword. So there was a guide I was following, and it did have more information down here. I just deleted it. And take note of the checkboxes on the edge there. Because you only need to press return when it's needed. Authentication, dial and dial, not too exciting. LCP options, this page is crazy. Don't know what's going on here really. Local and remote machines. Maximum receive unit values, these were set to 1500, so I'm guessing that's MRU? Transmission, maximum receive unit values. They were 1500, they've been reduced to 500. On the guide I was reading, it was actually for a an actual Mac, not a... it was for a pure 68K machine, not a accelerator card. 68K Mac. Yeah, so the only things that would change with these, and there was a 0 here, and it's now the letter A. I can only guess that that's to do with the way that password becomes arsword, and that's just a way of letting it know that the A is for arsword. It's probably not right. I made that up. It's a lie. Yep, that's fine. So that was the connect script and authentication. And it was also that one. There's so many things on there. This one, you can see some things that sort of look like there's IP addresses. Remote, yep, that makes sense. That's my asterisk server. The bridge at least, and that is the local machine, which is this machine. So we're done, we're absolutely done. This is really cool though, this little icon here. You watch what happens. If we open this connection, there you go. So that's, as you can see on the Banksia modem in the background, the Banksia modem is server side. Should be noted, that's the upright one with the big green lights, one of my favorites. So that says it's connected. So how do we check that? Well, we go over here. We can actually look at the stats. There should be one error, or 2 CRC errors, jeez. There's some things happening, probably. It tells us that we have an IP address. Okay, so that's something, probably. Like I said, don't really deal with dial-up on old Macs, and this Mac pretty much existed at the birth of the internet as far as I'm concerned. Out of all the browsers I've got on this one, MacWeb 2.0C is the one that works best. This does sort of work. Nothing really works, let's be honest. Because these machines are terrible. So 2.0C is sort of for the black and white Macs. It turns out if you had a body background tag in your HTML running the 2.0 version, that would result in tables and some images and text going crazy because it doesn't know on black or white screen, whether it's meant to be colored or not. Now I noticed MacWeb did seem to chew up all my RAM before, so hopefully it won't do it this time, at least not immediately. And I am live streaming this to the McRetro gaming channel as well, just by accident. It's okay. So you can actually see what's been happening on screen up until this point. No point loading that. So if we go to retrojunkie.net, I can only load things that seem to run well with HTTP 0.9. Unfortunately, the HTTP standard got updated a few times. It's not unfortunate, it's actually good. Evolution is good. And it didn't tell these browsers, at least not at this point. So they can't necessarily interpret the information coming back at them. The beautiful thing about HTTP 0.9, or just HTTP as it was known back in the day, so we weren't anticipating future versions, I guess, is that it just did one command. It just did get, and it would get the website. It would just get things, get this, get that, get this. If there was an error, it didn't handle it so well. But as you can see there, we have actually loaded that. I can't access any of these sites because it just gives errors. Most of these things go through Cloudflare, which is, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Sonic the Hedgehog one. Error 400. Invalid request. See, the browser doesn't quite know how to handle the response it's getting from the server, I'm guessing. Something like that. Anyway, it made me look into this a bit deeper because I do have a bit of an interest in this sort of thing. The origins of the internet. But it's come a long way since the internet. The fact that this sort of machine, this class of machine, can load a website at all is quite amazing. But I did have to toggle something off to get this to work. There you go. And we'll just jump over to, oh yeah, we're in Finder. Oh, yeah, MacWeb eats a lot of RAM. Yeah, 0 kilobytes available. MacWeb's using 1.956. Okay. Meg. 1.956 meg. Close all these clunky windows, I guess. Yeah, so there you have it. There's not too much I can do apart from this on this particular machine. If I was running a Mac with a much better processor and color screen, ideally, like a Macintosh LC475, or also known as the Performer 605, I could use iCab, which is a significantly better browser, more modern, I should say. So I'd actually be able to load other websites. But if I try and run iCab on here, it needs almost all the memory the machine has, which, you know, isn't going to happen. So it's unfortunate, but nothing can be done about that. NCSA Mosaic is older still than MacWeb. Let's have a look. It can load that current retrojunkie.net homepage, but it is worse, I think. I mean, it's worse. Although it can load GIFs. Yeah. Let's stop you from loading. Where's the stop button gone? Open URL. http://retrojunkie.net. There we go. Oh yeah, so it is horrible because it doesn't support center tags apparently. Oh, or tables, that's right, it doesn't support tables either. So if we scroll down a little bit, you can see my little siren GIFs have loaded there. But yeah, the table's just text. It's interesting the way some of the browsers handle this sort of thing. And look, the site does recommend Netscape Navigator 2 point something, so I can't really blame the browser. Yeah, but there you go. Oh, it does load GIFs instead of just asking me to download them, which is actually a failing of, again, the hardware I'm running this on. Mac Web would be much better on a newer color Mac that has a beefier processor. So there you have it. That's just a quick look into what makes this tick. I just thought it was a bit interesting. So we better disconnect from the internet somehow. Force quit. Love it. Yeah, damn straight. Only thing is I don't know where the internet is. Still connected. It's going to be control panels. I know where it is. Some of those must be Mac TCP. What else could it be? Nope, not Mac TCP. Must be the other one. Must be internet config. Config PPP. Uh-oh. Did it just freeze? Oh, it was going so well. Although you can always pull up the MiSTer menu. Yep, we're dead in the water. Anyway, all I wanted to do was disconnect the internet, so that actually works quite well. I'll just have to kill it here. It's not going to be good for the hard drive though. It does like to corrupt. I will admit that. Or at least it likes to corrupt other hard drives connected. So I guess we'll boot up to shutdown. Interestingly, I still appear to be connected, so I'm guessing that's not the case. Yeah, Adobe Type Manager. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. There we go. Can't open the Mac TCP driver. Okay, no, it's installed. It's just not connected. But now it's disconnected, so that's all good. All right, so now I can shut down happily. It's safe to switch it off. And I switch it off by going to now out of range. Fantastic. Thanks for watching. This is Shane McRetro signing out. Whoa, that's blurry. Till next time.